Welcome to Portal and Mobile Options, an Alexio short course. In this course, we focus on just the options related to getting Portal and Mobile set up properly. I'm in Portal Options right now. The first thing you'll need to indicate is whether or not you will be embedding the portal on your website, which is option 1, or whether you'll be hosting. Here's what that looks like. An embedded portal would look like this, where you navigate to your church website, and then rather than when you click on login being redirected, you're simply still within the menuing structure of your church website. I'll parallel that is if you set this up as a separate, so in other words, I'll go back to my homepage. If my click to login, if you use option 2 on that setup page, you would be redirected to a page that would look something like this, where it's still the same exact login function, but you are no longer on your church website. You are on a URL, and that URL is defined in this setup area. You would define what that URL is here. We recommend this one, and if you need step-by-step instructions on how to do it, you can click here. The important thing that you will need is knowledge of your church website. So in other words, how to build a page, how to work with pages on your church website. And you will need this HTML code snippet that you can get right there. Okay, that's a general option. You can also decide whether or not when you present the login screen in general, whether or not people can sign up to get an account at that moment, if you have this box checked. And then these options all relate to privacy policy, whether or not you're going to force people to ask it, and then if you want a custom privacy policy. The communications area. These are automated emails that will be sent out, for example, if somebody has a credit card on file that they've set up with online giving and it's about to expire. What happens and what gets sent to them, all of those controls are here. The options are standard messages, or you can edit them, and then of course you can turn them off. This one is currently turned off. Upcoming donation reminder will not be sent. So disengage the ones that you do not want. We talked about Group Finder in our course on the portal in general. This simply is controlling what filter options. I recommend leaving all of these exactly the same. With one quick mention, when you define your groups, and we have an entire course that talks about defining groups, if, for example, none of your groups have the definition of what gender that group serves, well, I would probably turn that off as a filter because it could be misleading. Let's turn our attention to the mobile app and what options you have here. We'll start again with general. This is where you're setting security rights. Who can go where in the portal and what can they see? This really is just a visual because it's really controlled in the security roles area, and we have a course on security roles. So this is just for reference on what can be accessed. The images is very straightforward. It's simply going to be where you identify images that will show up in your mobile app. The Connect area is a customizable section of the mobile app. You are building out the menu of the Connect area. By default, it's empty. You create new menu items by selecting Add New. You can use a custom image, give that particular menu item a name, and then identify what URL will store the content behind that menu item. And really, so what this becomes, the Connect area is simply a way to put in a menu structure inside the mobile app, mobile-friendly web pages. So for example, I have built one that helps people understand information about my small group program. This is the URL, and it's important that that URL be mobile-friendly. By default, these pages will open from within the browser. They will open from within the mobile app and not engage the browser. If you do want the page, so if somebody were to go to the mobile app, select small group information, in my case, they would stay in the app. If you don't want that to be the behavior, you want to engage the new window option. Times and directions is really very straightforward, although it is important to note that you can have multiple times, so that would maybe be associated with campus. You could break down youth programming into its own separate listing, so you do have the Add New option for both directions and service times. And then Media Center is a function only for those who use both the Alexio database and the Alexio CMS software for managing your church website. If indeed that is your case, and you have Media Center libraries on your Elexio website, you select which Media Center library will feed the mobile app. So in my case, I have this indicated that the library is my sermon content library. The online giving area is a control for both portal and mobile, so you can't make separate choices here. This would be the same choice for both products, and it's 3 simple choices. You can disallow any form of receiving payment or donation. That would be the first option. You can use the Elexio Financial Processing Services tool, and then once you do that, you do have to connect with us to be able to do that. You can contact sales for help with if you're not using Elexio FPS. But this is where you indicate which cards you're willing to take and whether or not you want to engage e-checks or ACH as a payment option or a donation option. And then, of course, if you are using a third-party merchant account, this is where you would need to put in those pieces of information. Elexio database will only work with certain third-party merchant accounts. Again, it is most easy if you use Elexio's FPS. If you need assistance getting your third-party merchant account or to even see if it's an option, you can contact support. Well, that's it. That's a quick review of the options for getting portal and mobile set up for your church. Thanks for watching this Elexio short course.